Hey everyone, let's try to solve this particular question. So we have a customer table which includes three different columns: ID, name, and referee ID. So ID represents the ID of a customer, name represents the name of that customer, and referee ID represents the customer ID of a customer who has referred that customer. Let's look at the example. So we have in row number 1 we have ID 1, the customer ID, customer name, and referee ID as null. Same goes with row 3, row 2. So look at the row 3. So we have a customer ID as 3, customer name as Alex, and referee ID as 2. That means Alex has been referred by the customer whose ID is 2 and which is Jane. Same goes with other rows as well. So that's the point of this referee ID. We can get the customer who has referred that particular customer by referee ID. Now what do we need to find? We need to find the name of the customer that are not referred by the customer with ID 2. Okay, so as you can see in the example, row 3 and row 6 has been referred by customer whose ID is 2. So what our solution will look like, we'll do select, and we need the names, just names of the customers. We don't need other columns. So we'll take select name from our customer table, where referee ID, we don't want to include the referee ID as 2. So if we'll do referee ID is 2, that means like it will give you the output where the referee ID is 2. It will give you the output of row 3 and row 6. Let's try to submit it and check what we get. Same, see, we are getting these two rows, but we need the exact opposite of it. We need to exclude those two rows, and we need to include all the other rows. So what we can do, either we can do not equals to 2, but there is a catch. So if we'll run it, you'll see we are getting only one row, but we should be getting 4 individual rows: 1, 2, 4 and 5, but we are getting only one. Why is that? Because when we are giving not equals to 2, it is not including the null into it. It is just giving us a row which has some values in for referee ID, and which is 1. So that's why like it's giving us the jack as output. And if we want the null rows to be available in our output as well, we need to add one more condition, which will be our OR condition, because we need to include this particular row as well. And in that OR condition, we'll write the referee ID is null. So we can take those rows as well where the referee ID is null, because we need to exclude only those rows where the referee ID is 2. So we can take those rows, and if you run it, it will give you the same output. Now see, our test case has passed and we have all the rows that we wanted as our output. So there is one more way to solve the same question, in which we cannot give these two different conditions for the rows that we want. Okay, so now let's try an alternate solution for the same question, so same problem. So we had already seen this query, that if we are using this select ID from customer where reference ID is 2, that like we were getting two different rows, row 3 and row 6, because we are taking those rows where the reference ID is 2. So now what we can do, and we want to exclude those two rows from our final output, correct? So what we can do, we can take this query as our subquery. We can write down upper subquery select name from our table customer, and now we want to exclude those IDs from our rows. So we'll write down the where clause where ID from our original customer table should not be those IDs. So basically we are excluding the IDs which are coming from this inner subquery, and those ID will not be the part of the upper subquery. Got it? And if you run this code, you will get the same output. See, we got the same rows that we wanted. Hope you like it. Follow for more.